Okay, good evening everyone in the house.
Good evening, sir.
Hello. Okay, team, so chalo, let's get started for the session. Okay, so there were a lot of ons and off, and let's go. Fine. So we have, yes, two of the people on the video, which is so good to see. TK, we have Akhila and Sakshi, nice with cheerful faces on the screen. Well and good. Okay. And now we will be getting started with the day. Okay, today is the fourth day of our program, and yes, देखो guys, just stick with the same statement. Ki, knowing it is not going to be that useful for us, we have to live it. Then only the change will come. Okay, and that's what it is. This entire program, we are like awareness. You can find it if you're really dedicated. You can spend time on internet and try to get all the knowledge, but if we don't really bring it to our lives, that's where the problem happens. Okay, so at least yes, have a bit of discipline with yourself, and automatically you will start finding results. Okay, so these are very proven techniques, and you will realize the benefit which will come along with it. Okay, so yes, first of all, I would say whatever we have learned so far as part of the past 2-3 days, mainly the structure that we are trying to build. Okay, key organizing your entire day into a pattern, so that's a very important thing. So try to do that upfront. Okay, so ensure that from the time you start your day till the time you end your day, if you are planned enough, so you can find loopholes. Okay, I'm telling you guys based upon my personal experience. Right now I'm leading a team of 40 members. Okay, now what happens is, for a team of 40 members, we need to run in a structure. And when there is a structure now, so automatically I can identify where the problem is, so that we can fix the problem. Okay, if there is no pattern, we will not be able to identify, okay, what is going wrong where in the system. And once I realize that fact for a bigger project, then I realize the same thing applies to our life also. Because there is no structure to our life, so we don't realize where we are losing time, what we are spending on more important item, less important items. Okay, and that is what, if you start looking your life like, okay, from the morning time when I wake up till the time I sleep, how is my life going? And then rather than you being misguided by time, okay, if you don't control your time, the time will control you. Somebody will call, let's do this, somebody will give you some other task, and then your priority life items will just disappear, because you are not in control of time. Okay, and by that way you will end up spending a lot of energy without getting any results. Okay, and that's a real problematic. So what we are trying to say is, think, decide, plan your day properly, spend energy on things which will really give you results in life and which will make you progressive in life. And then once you start looking at your time and your what activities you engage with, you will realize that there are areas where you are really wasting time, there is no value coming there. So automatically you can reduce those areas, add more value to the areas that matter. Okay, or the more you do it, automatically the life is going to be benefited. Okay, fine. Now, as part of today's session, we are going to talk about a lot of techniques which you need to consider while making a lot of decisions and in order to get to productivity. Okay, so one by one there are a list of multiple techniques. So let's understand it, and again, while making the decisions, I'll share based upon my experiences also, okay, when I was able to relate with these techniques and how it gave me the right value. So you try that as part of your and day-to-day activities. We don't know when situations will come, but whenever you are exposed to certain circumstances, you can use these rules that we will discuss right now as your base assumptions for making decisions. Okay, and which is going to be really useful ones. And chalo ek ek karke, so make some running notes about it so that it will be nicely beneficial as well. Okay, so the first wala is, there are some techniques which you might already might have heard about it, but yes, it's important. That's where I would like it to cover it once again here. Okay, so there is a technique called as eat the frog technique. Okay, so how many of you have heard the eat the frog technique? Some of you might have heard. Okay, so Balram has heard it. ठीक है, आलोक हैज हर्ड इट. ठीक है, सो चलो मिलते हैं लंच पे. ईट द फ्रॉग करेंगे. ठीक है, So the technique is, okay, first of all, okay, nobody likes to eat frog, right? कौन खाता है frog? ये वो तो कोई और पकड़ लो गंदा वाला, ठीक है? Anything, like people don't like to do it, okay? But यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहा है कि eat the frog first, okay? Nothing but, let's say it means कि in your life, when you have a tough decision to make or some very tough activity to do, ठीक है? Don't delay that activity. Okay, try to do it as early as possible, so a lot of problems will be sorted with that. Okay, now let me give you with some examples so that you can relate with it. So the conclusion of the first learning is, try to do the most challenging task first. The things which makes you uncomfortable, try to finish it first, because the uncomfortable easy things, so anybody can do it. If you're confident you can do it, so you can do it. What's the big deal? But uncertain thing, confusing thing, challenging thing, we don't know how that is going to shape up. So this eat the frog first says ki bhai, first of all, take the most complicated challenging piece where you are in doubts, confusions, questions. Okay, and once you solve that, you will realize your rest of the life will be very easy. Okay, reverse way, what will happen is, if you're not taking the complicated piece first, let's say you're delaying, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. So what will happen is, right now today you're doing easy task, but in the mind that kind of pressure will be there. Oh, I still need to do that, still need to do that. That starts adding more of mental torture to you. Okay, and then for that entire one day, that torture will be there, and then you go to that task, then the nervousness will be even more high. And nothing what you will realize, the more you delay these complex problems, and some people delay the complex problems in terms of weeks. Okay, I will do it next week. So for entire 1 week, they are like pretty uncomfortable. Okay, so if you want to have a solution of a very peaceful life, the ultimate thing is, complexity should be solved in the first priority. Okay, that is what is eat the frog first. So the tough part of eating a frog, finish it quickly so that your life is peaceful. And I have personally experienced this on many occasions. This happens. Okay, but I'll tell you one simple example ki when I started my leadership journey of leading teams and all, so एक moment आता है कि giving feedback to people. Okay, so earlier I was like very, like किसी को बुरा negative feedback देना is very tough. ठीक है, and पता नहीं, somewhere I feel it very tough कि how to tell somebody कि you are really bad. And the feedbacks has to be given in a constructive manner so that that person grows and all that. ठीक है, but when I was starting with my journey, or like 5 years ago, and I had to give feedbacks, it's like mandatory for me, because I have to tell my team members where they are doing right, where they are doing wrong. And then I realized it on myself. Okay, there were some people in my team and who were not really performing good at all. Okay, and I have to tell that to them. So I used to try to push that activity. अरे बाद में करेंगे, we'll do it later, we'll do it later. ठीक है, and sometimes I used to push it like 3-4 days ahead. And now practical experience, what used to happen is, for all those 3-4 days of time, in my mind the same thing used to run. Arey, this guy has done like this, I have to tell him like this, I have to tell him like this. And I was not able to focus on any other activity. Now whatever other things are doing, my mind is always like, oh, I have to do that, I have to do that, and I was feeling uncomfortable. Okay, nothing but, this is the problem which you will be encountering if you don't solve your complicated problems in the first case. Okay, so this is what is eat the frog first. The things which makes you uncomfortable, which bothers you a lot, first try to finish it. It will be painful, but it will quickly finish. You will have a peace of mind for the rest of the time. Okay, so try to make this, it will come a lot of times in your day-to-day activities and decision making activities. So try to spend time in order to solve it nicely. Okay, so that's the first one. Guys, these are all coming from lot of experienced people. Okay, many people have experiences then saying it. I think we should be smart enough to utilize all these things. Okay, so don't just listen and ignore. थोड़ा सा speed up करोगे तो your life will grow pretty fast. Okay, now the second thing. Okay, this is again pretty nice. Many people to write the second technique. Okay, do it now technique. Okay, the second one is do it now. Okay, ठीक है, तो देखो point is कि many times while you are working, maybe you're like job seeking work or office work or homework also. Okay, sometimes all of a sudden some task will be coming. It might just take 10-15 minutes to finish that task. Sometimes even less than that, might be like 2-3 minutes also. Okay, but you would be like ki you are involved into some activity, and all of a sudden this small task came, and then you say, okay, let me do it, like I'll just stacking it in the backlog, nothing but adding that item to the to-do list. Okay, so what happens is, because of these small items of 5 minutes, 10 minutes item, you just keep stacking it in the to-do list. And what happens as a human psychology, whenever you see your to-do list, and if the list is growing and you're not able to finish the work, that reverse backfires on you. Okay, so the technique says do it now, whichever small items are there. Okay, so for such items, try to finish it immediately. Don't try to plan it ke after 1 hour karte or 5 days karte. Don't try to manage small items. Okay, finish it then and there itself, so that it will not be even stacking up in your list, and that is a very important thing for getting results done. Otherwise people get into this, no, I am focused now, multitasking is not allowed, I have to focus on one item. And in that they realize a lot of small things are just piled up, and you realize you have like 20 items to finish now. Okay, and then when you see that, then itself like, oh my god, 20 more to finish, now what will happen, when it will happen, it all starts affecting mentally. Okay, so whatever items are small, so try to just close it as soon as possible, take a pause from the current work, take it, finish it, and then get back to what you were already doing. By that way the mental stacking will not happen, and this really helps a lot. You will realize, okay, so small things, easy things, fatak se khatam karo, don't try to bag it up as well. Okay, now another thing. Okay, some people have this problem. I'll not say that everybody thinks like this, but there are some people which really gets into lot of overthinking and trying to do perfectly, or if not trying to do perfectly, staying confused. Okay, or should I do this or should I do that, and like going on and on, the mental battle just keeps running on, permutations, combinations. If I do like this, then that will happen, if I do like this, then that will happen. Now what happens is, because of this psychological trap, and that's where the rules like 5-second rule comes, if I don't get into this trap, because if you get trapped in this, you will not be able to think the best solutions. Okay, and that's where these all things, overthinking, trying to do things in a perfect manner, all of those things will start backfiring results in your life. And that happens on a day-to-day basis for many people. I also dealt with all of those things. Okay, now the thing is, if you allow it to happen, then the problems will start multiplying, because it will become a habit in you. Every time whenever challenge comes, you get into thinking, what should I do, what should I do, whom should I talk to? Rather than getting stuck with all that, you should try that as soon as possible, take action on it. Okay, your approach should always be to the solution part. देखो अभी, like I'm telling you कि life में you have to make a lot of decisions. ठीक है, it will come on a day-to-day basis कि whether to do this or whether to do that. And देखो guys, there is no perfect decision. This is what I have learned from my life. ठीक है, and there could be like, let's say you, okay, this is how you should run it. You should take the best possible decision considering your current circumstances. Okay, and you might realize after 1 month circumstances will change, then your decision will also change. So be this very clear, okay, right now let's say you decide something, I want to do it like this. Okay, then you will realize ki after 6 months, let's say, if the same question is asked to you, okay, how will you do it, at that time your answer might be different. So understand that this is where many people get trapped in life. I decided this 1 year ago, okay, and that has to be the right decision. There is nothing like that. The decisions will keep changing based upon your circumstances. Okay, and whenever you get exposed to a situation where you have to solve it, don't get trapped into this overthinking and trying to get the best solution out, because honestly speaking, that doesn't exist. The best solutions will always be dependent on a lot of conditions. So your way of thinking should be, given current circumstances, whatever is around me, the thing which you think is best at that time. Okay, maybe you can take suggestions from 2-3 of the people, but again you have to make that decision. You get inputs from 2-3 people also, apply your brain to it, look at permutation, what can be done, but don't spend too much time thinking, because it is just a temporary situation. Take one conclusion and act on it. Okay, so you have to make a cautious attempt to not get into this thinking loop. And this is a very main problem for killing productivity of people, because they are not really solving the problem. They get trapped, and once you allow that trap to grow, you will not be able to come out of it. Okay, so one approach which I apply for making this kind of avoiding trap is I just do a proper if else ladder in my mind. Okay, if this is the situation, then I'll do this, else I'm going to do that, else I'm going to do that. I just make that kind of ladder in my mind for a given problem statement. And what does it mean? Once you just think it like that, there is no re-going back to the same problem. Many people, what do they do is, once they decide, again they think about the same problem one more time and like, अरे ऐसे करते हैं क्या? Don't get into that much of trap. Make a situation. If this is the situation, then I will do like this. Otherwise, I will do like this. Chalo, let's act based on that. And once you have made a decision, don't go to the same decision again and again, because you are a human being. Your brain is like a thinking machine. It will come up with 1,000 problems with anything that you decide. So think smart, follow your gut, take some opinions, act, and once you have made a decision, just go ahead with that. Okay. Now you need to understand one thing. The decision which you have taken might be wrong as well, but don't regret about it. It's fine. Okay. If you really understand our productivity concepts, we are asking you to daily review your day. Nothing but, let's say today morning you made a wrong decision. It's not a big deal. By the end of the day, you realize, oh, I made that decision, but after that I did not get the right results. So somewhere there is a problem there. Maybe tomorrow try to make some smarter decision. Because of that power of acting and thinking and deciding on a daily basis, even if you make wrong decisions, when you multiply it by 10 days, after 10 days your decisions will be right automatically. Many people, they think a lot, then make a decision. If it goes wrong, then they get demotivated. Array, it went wrong, now I have to do it all over again. They are consuming a lot of time in all the process. If you really apply like this structure, and every end of day review it, make a decision. If you made a bad decision, accept it, fine, I did not go right, maybe tomorrow then I should try like this. So this is what is the next one. Don't wait for perfection. Don't get into this overthinking trap. Try to make a smarter decision based upon current circumstances. Okay, so try to make a smarter decision based upon the current circumstances. And if you do that, you will automatically start finding that progress will come naturally, because this blocks a lot of people. Okay, and एक चीज भाई, लाइफ में कभी रिग्रेट मत करो. Even if you lose everything, there is no regret about it. You made a decision, it was your choice, you lost it, it's fine. People lose a lot. Okay, but that will make you learn, and we are trying to improve and shorten this loss impact by thinking daily, acting daily. Okay, so guys, these are like day-to-day activities which will come for everybody in your personal life, in your professional life, and you have to really work on this. Okay, fine. Now the next thing, we said about Pomodoro technique 2 days ago. Okay, and that technique was, after every 25 minutes take a break, and then keep repeating, keep repeating, keep repeating. Okay, that is nothing but called as a time boxing technique. Nothing but fixed time frame is there. You go in this fixed time frame, work, whether your work is done or not, leave it, take a break, then get back to the work and just do the repetition. Okay, now you will realize, like personally I have realized in my life experience, sometimes it is not possible to take those breaks. Okay, you will be stuck with, now understand, there will be multiple nature of tasks. Okay, some task you will find, okay, yes, it's okay to do it in a Pomodoro manner, break, 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 break. It will help you to concentrate for longer period of time. Okay, but you will be exposed to some situations in life where in one shot you have to like just go all in. Okay, for example, like I have been in such cases, like 8 hours sitting at one place, no water, no food, no sleep, nothing. 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours just working. There have been such cases. Okay, so in your life you will be exposed and you don't know when it comes. Okay, sometimes that's where in IT many people end up impacting their health as well. Okay, for example, one of a close person that I know, like my friend itself, for it was so much of work pressure for him, okay, he was continuously skipping his lunch for like six months. It's like just eating some snacks in the evening time, but proper lunch, he's not doing it. He did that for 6 months, 1 year, because of the work pressure. Now, this is what will happen. Mental pressure is there, work has to be completed. And then what happens is after 1 year, 2 years, he started having some stomach problems, this problem, that problem. Abhi wo sab medicines chal rahe. All of a sudden, terrible pain. Nothing but guys, you need to make sure ki somewhere something is going wrong within us. IT industry mein you will find a lot of work pressure coming up. I have seen literally people crying in the IT industry. I have seen people eating tablets in the IT industry. I have seen people coming to me and telling, Tausif, don't give me more work because I cannot take it. Doctor has given me these tablets. Okay? Like, and I'm like, oh boy, abhi tera kya kare? So, but situations are there. Okay, so taking the seriousness of situation, all of this is going to happen in IT industry. We don't know which project, which people can do that. Okay, it will come, phases will come. The point is we should already be ready enough so that these things should not impact us. And that's where, guys, okay, so be aware that these things should not impact us. And that is where we say the entire life transformation program was to have that mental peace so that you don't get impacted with all these things on a day-to-day basis. Okay, now coming back to our point where we started, okay, sometimes time boxing approach will not work, pomodoros will not work. Okay, for example, let's say you are in my team, there is a very complicated problem which needs everybody to sit, brainstorm, solve, and बंदा हर 25-25 मिनट में बाहर जा रहा है, मैं उसको दरवाजा बांध के रखूंगा लॉक करके कि भाई कर किधर चला. ठीक है, लिटरली देयर हैव बीन सम केसेस के बंदे चाय पे जा रहे थे, आई कॉल्ड देम कि भाई यू नीड टू सिट एंड फिनिश दिस फर्स्ट, देन ओनली यू कैन गो फॉर योर टी ब्रेक्स. Sometimes the project demands, burning situations will come, client is sitting on the head, like taking even break will become tough. Okay, now that means time boxing is not going to work in that manner. Okay, so it's temporary, one time RPS such is not always. So in that, time blocking technique is going to work. Okay, time blocking, so it's not boxing. Box means fixed time frames. Time blocking is like, breaks will be required in that, but your mental level of involvement will be different. We have to do time block. Okay, for now that, okay, now let's think about it. थोड़ा सा अभी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग पे आते हैं कि हाउ डू यू अप्रोच इन सॉल्विंग योर प्रॉब्लम्स. ठीक है, देखो, थोड़ा यू हैव टू रियली थिंक लॉजिकल कि एवरी प्रॉब्लम दैट यू आर ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व can be broken down into small pieces. Every problem, no matter personal problem, nothing but it's like step by step, and when all the 10 steps are done, then the actual solution will come. So if you really think in your work life or any life, whatever you're trying to do can be broken down into smaller pieces. Okay, and that now you have to develop that maturity. How can I break my task into smaller pieces and then group some set of tasks together? Okay, nothing but similar kind of tasks can be grouped together, and then try to say, okay, I will first finish this group of activity, then a break time will come, then I will try to do that group of activity. Okay, and by that way, yes, sometimes it might go 1 hour, 1.5 hours, but yes, that will be required, and then you take some break. Okay, so at least mentally it's like I have done with this work, now I'm remaining with these two set of items. So you have to act on the fly given the nature of the problem. If the situation is relaxed, yes, pomodoros, take it, apply, take breaks when it's not a burning situation. But for burning situation, you need to take the problem, you need to see it properly, break it down into smaller pieces. Okay, for example, कोई भी example हो सकता है. Let's say you want to apply for a company. Okay, so the problem would be hunting for the right company, trying to find what are the sources by which you can apply for the company, trying to read through their job description, then trying to compare their job description with your resume, then trying to see should I update my resume so that this job description is full, and then finally applying it, and then doing the follow-ups. Nothing but task is one, applying for some company. But if you start thinking it, there are a lot of small activities which needs to perform to actually do the item. Similarly, when you are doing some project related coding, it can also be broken. Okay, first I have to write this core logic, the database design should be there. Once this DB design is there, then the Java layer will come up. This is how the interaction should be. And then this logic goes in DO, then service wise, what business use cases should handle. Okay, 3-4 use cases will be there. Okay, so can I write in one method, separate method? If you really think, your problems can be broken down. Okay, and when you have grouped the problems, acha, this activity I'll finish it one chunk, this in one chunk, then start working like a time blocking approach. Okay, till the time this activity, this is the time blocking approach, till the time these set of activities is not done, I am not going to move from my place. अभी भले ही उसके लिए फिर कितना भी टाइम जाओ. That's why people say कि भाई don't pick up that bulky items, it will kill you or like 2 days of time. ठीक है, take those items which might be like okay 1 hour 2 hour of work, but हो जाएगा. तो manageable work, take it, group it, keep it aside. And then one you will realize when you work like this for 2 days, all of a sudden all the problems will be sorted. Okay, and now let's extend this technique. So sometimes time blocking will work, not time boxing. ठीक है, and blocking में छोटे छोटे pieces करो, group it together, decide how much time you want to spend on each of it, and till the time that work is done, don't move to anything else, because if this is not done, you will anyways not be able to do the next one, and you will end up messing up everything. Okay, now another thing. Okay, let's continue the same technique at next level. As you get involved more deeply about it, you'll find more depth to the problem. Okay, you have to know कि as a human being you cannot do multiple things together. Okay, that's where people have just drawn conclusion multitasking is not allowed, don't do multitasking, it will kill your productivity. You need to understand, okay, your brain can solve one problem very efficiently if you put entire focus in that. As soon as you split your focus, problem aa jayega. Okay, now let's say you're doing this time blocking or time boxing where you're focused on one activity. Okay, at that time, let's say many other things are also coming up, so you need to work. Okay, right now I'm fixing this, let me just do this, then I'm going to see the other items. Okay, don't try to do two things in parallel. Many people like, okay, somewhat coding here, and then acha, what happened about this, then trying to go there. Because of this under internal mental battle switch happens, context switching is lot happening here. Okay, now somebody will respond back on the call, then you leave that call and then you start talking to that person, oh but what about this problem, and then you're trying to do something, somebody might ping you something, there might be an email coming. You need to understand, while you're working at office, a lot of things will happen. Somebody is talking in chat, somebody is calling you, there is an email waiting on you, you have your sprint activities to be done, maybe your manager is trying to do something or client is trying to do something, nothing but you are one person but bombarded from all the sides. And it is not our fault, it's like it's a situation, everybody is throwing their items on us. And the more experience, as if you're junior, people will try to already narrow down the amount of load that comes, like one by one dete chalte. Okay, acha, he's a junior na, give him like only these 2 3, and that to one your senior will guide and give it to you. But as you start growing with 3 years 4 years, people start giving these items because they assume ke, okay, now banda is more mature and now dete. Okay, now I'll tell you practical thing. Okay, I was in a team once and I had a technically very brilliant person in my team. Okay, he was having like 5 years 5.5 years of genuine experience or proper technical lead level material, able to solve problems like anything, designing systems, बहुत अच्छा था. ठीक है, but the problem was he was not able to manage his work properly. Okay, what does that mean? देखो, if you start growing in experience, you get team with you, you can manage your own work, but as soon as you get a team, you have to even manage your team's work. That's what will come with more responsibility. Abhi point is, if you are not able to manage your own work, how can you manage your teamwork? But he's a technical person, package is high, responsibility has to be given, right? Otherwise, with a high package, just independent developer does not work for all projects. You have to take a team, deliver something bigger. So the responsibility was given to that person, and like we were expecting him to perform. And now what happened is he was not able to plan his item, plus he was not able to plan his team items also. And now what the team members are also doing, they were juniors, 3 years experience kind of. These people are also putting task on him. And then he has to review their code also. And what is happening is team is also giving the work to this guy. Client is also giving, the scrum master is also giving, I am also giving. And then this person became a pressure cooker. He tried to manage for 2 3 months of time, but after that it blasted someday, right? फिर क्या आया? Okay, I am resigning. ठीक है? And then while it was going that bad, ठीक है, Then we realized कि भाई साहब इससे तो manage नहीं हुआ है. He was not able to organize and work in a proper manner. That's where it backfired. Okay. And then we tried to handle it somehow, the situation, we calmed down the situation. We all of a sudden, the point is another problem here. That person did not even tell the problem to the seniors. What will others think? If you are not telling your problem to outsiders and you're piling up on your own head, people will think he's able to deal with it. And that too, it was a remote working environment. Everybody thought that he's able to deal, but after the blast happened, then we realized, oh, ये बंदे से तो गड़बड़ हो गई. And then we then understood how bad the situation is. We immediately handled, within 1 week of time we got another person there. So there were two guys, we took the juniors outside trying to manage it there properly. So we did the adjustment, the system came corrected. But now what happens is, after that the system was balanced. He continued with us for 3 months, and after that he resigned and then moved out. Okay. I think what you need to understand ki when your mind like collapses under pressure, okay, and that is because you're not able to organize work in a certain manner. You're trying to do 10 things at the same time. Pressure is coming from all the places at the same time. You're not able to delegate to others. You're not able to push the responsibility to right people. वो सब pile up होके it blasts someday. Okay. And after that we got another technical lead. So once he resigned, we got another person. He's also like 7-8 years of experience, but that guy is working in clarity. He's like, okay, right now we are doing this, we will focus only on this item right now. So I'm able to find the difference in the way of managing the work, how people manage their work. Okay, this is where we started this topic saying, okay, don't try to do many things at the same time. You will end up in that where your mind is not able to deal with everything. You need to work in a one thing at a time model. Beat whoever it is, beat even your company CEO asks something, don't give a parallel commitment. Okay, I'm working this, I'll do your work also. Don't do that. Let's say he's a CEO, tell him, hey, I'm right now working on these items. If you want me to this, okay, fine, I'll work on this, I'll deprioritize all this. But try to do only one item at a time. One set of work, one set of challenges, deal with only that, because otherwise these mental problems will be too much. Okay? And be it even your releases or the delivery is getting pushed, to ho jane do, that's fine. Just say, hey, come on, I'm one person, I'm able to do only this much, because of this I was not able to do the other thing. So push it. So that's the next learning. Get organized in your work and do one thing at a time. Now you have to think based upon your life circumstances. How do you get organized when 10 people are throwing 10 things at you? Aligning them in one priority, taking it one by one, that will at times in life become your job. Because there are cases in IT industry, one developer is managed by two managers. So this manager is giving his work, this manager is giving this work, and both are expecting the delivery on time. So in such cases, then when nobody else is doing your prioritization, you have to take care of your own responsibility. Okay, bhai, pehle I'm working on this item. Once this is finished, then only I can work on that. That's it, fair and square. Managers will not feel bad. Don't try to, okay, one thing, one problem many people have in IT industries, favoritism karne ka dikhte. Aur ye manager say, if I talk properly, he will be like, हाँ, goody goody with me. So don't try to do all that. Be practical in industry. Okay? Because otherwise it will backfire on you only, your health and other consequences. Be transparent. Don't be hard and rash on people, but be transparent on people. If I देखो, right now I'm doing this, it might take me like entire day today, so I will not be able to do your item, but if I get some time out, definitely I'll do something about it. And if required, spend 2 extra hours to do something so that he also feels good. But at the same time, don't give double commitment to people. Okay, so yeah, write this as a next point. Dekho, while talking itself, I am able to relate so many cases which happens on a day-to-day basis at work. Okay, over commitment is another problem, right? Don't give over commitment. Many people get mentally like upset, depressed because of over commitment. And especially juniors को क्या लगता है कि भाई जो भी दोगे अपने को सभी करना ही है. Okay, it has pros, it has cons also. Okay, so देखो, for learning sake you have to do a lot, but the point is don't overcommit. Let's spend time understanding this overcommitment. देखो, sometimes what happens is, you know that it is going to take more time, but still you say, you know that it will be like maybe taking 1.5 days for you, but sometimes you just somehow say, okay, no, I'll finish it in like in 1 day. Okay. Now, in such cases, many times people happen. Okay, why will you say 1 day? Because there will be some pressure, a client deadline, somebody poking you. Okay, why finish early? You know that it is going to take time. Okay, problem is, even if you work your best, then also it is going to take more time, and then people ask you to do your or less than that. That's where the problem starts coming. Okay. And many people, like, so ideally, let's say if you give your best, if it takes you 1.5 day to complete, still people at times will push you, no, finish it in 1 day and close it in 1 day. If that is happening, okay, you still need to tell a statement. By guys, be transparent in IT industry. There is nothing right or wrong. Be transparent and genuine there. Why? Dekho, I still feel it is going to take me 1.5 day. I will try to do it in one, but if it is not happening, I don't know. Tell it upfront, then take the work. That is okay. But don't give a confirmation ki yes, I will do it in 1 day, because how will you do it? Maybe you'll work entire night. Okay. So once it is fine, one time you can do it considering the business situation. But if you make it a habit, so that starts impacting from many ways, and then that manager will also habituated, अरे तो ये बंदा तो रात रात को भी काम करता है, इसको और चिपकाते हैं. So it just works like that. ठीक है. So this another thing, be very careful. Don't give over commitment. If you feel something will take that time, be transparent. If people are forcing you, say that I will try to do my best, but if not able to do, then what can I do? Because I still feel it will take 1.5 day, so I'm just giving the timeline according. But don't give over commitment. And problem kya hota hai guys? Over commitment with multiple items causes more problem to people. As far as it is one item, somehow you'll manage it. But when you give a over commitment for 3-4 items, that's where the life starts becoming hell. Isko bhi you said yes, for that person also yes, for the third task also yes. And there, if you're doing it in an over commitment manner, so then it really blasts like very terribly. And बाकी सब लोग तो एंड में बोलेंगे कि भाई why did you not tell us कि it's not possible for you. Okay. अभी recently I was watching some documentary. It was not about the IT industry. It was a bit into this law side and all. ठीक है. तो वो डॉक्यूमेंट्री में बोला कि भाई एक बंदा went in so much of pressure कि just piling work, so much pressure कि all of a sudden he got a heart attack someday. Okay. Nothing but if you just keep piling so much, internally some things will go wrong. Okay. So try to understand there are going to be big time consequences if you don't handle yourself in a mature manner, in an organized manner, in a peaceful manner. Okay. Understand the projects are always going to run. They will always run. Billing will always happen. Something live will always go. Features will always go. थोड़ा सा साथ में manage yourself properly. Don't like break your brain and don't tear your brain into pieces, because it's really going to break you inside in a long run. ठीक है. And देखो, being a team lead of like 40 members, still I am telling you, okay, bhai, you need to consider your mental peace. Okay. Yes, work hard, try to take more ownership, but don't do it at the cost of your mental pressure and torture. If that's what is happening, that means there is something wrong in the way you are dealing with work. Maybe you're not able to manage properly, or your seniors are just pushing too much of work irrealistically on you. But you should not try to continue in that environment. You try to fix that problem. Don't allow that to pile up on you for a long time. Okay. Either you fix it by taking, okay, I'll work only like this and blah blah blah, or ask your leads to organize the work in a manner that work pressure is not piling up on you. Because everything देखो, I know that if I give too much pressure to my team will quit, or they will have mental problems, health problems, and in that they will anyways be not able to continue. If they are not able to continue, the project anyways suffers. So my target is from my team that we should work in a long term duration, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And for that, I don't want to torture them. Okay. I will try to maintain my balance, but I don't know, right? Different project, different people, different leads. So sometimes you take responsibility, but pressure ko aane mat do kabhi. Okay. So that should be your primary goal also. If you're feeling that heat, try to talk to your seniors. Okay, I'm not able to deal with. Could you guide me? Could we assist me in somehow? And people will try to make some possibility. Okay. Don't think what will others say, but mentally balanced rehna is very important. ठीक है. चलो, lot of things done. Now moving on further. So this point itself talks about a lot of things. Okay. Now, one important thing, Now this is interesting, and everybody should start practicing right from tomorrow, whether whatever you do. Okay, you need to get master the art of estimation. Okay, that's it. You need to be good at estimation, whether you know or not. That will become your day-to-day activity, and nobody else will estimate for you. You have to take your own ownership. Maybe if you're a fresher, then people might be like, okay, theek hai, kar lete. But even for fresher, people might ask estimation, like given a task, how much time it will take to complete. Okay, and you have to tell that answer ki how much time it is going to take, and you cannot say I don't know. That shows कि यार पता नहीं, he's not able to evaluate. A lot of negative outcome comes because of that statement, I don't know, I'm not aware. ठीक है, so you need to work in a manner where you should be able to estimate properly. Okay, let me tell you what happened. Ki when is the first time I properly estimated in my life? I was having 3 years experience at that time. Somehow 3 years तक गाड़ी चल गई without proper estimation also. But a moment came, I was having 3 years of experience. Okay, so there we were in a meeting room of 8-10 people something, and at that time there was a new project being discussed, and I was just having 3 years of experience, and my manager gave me a marker and said ki okay Tausif, this is the project, we explained everything, now you stand on that board and tell us how much time it is going to take for finish. What's the estimate of this project? Okay, and that was the first time where I had to do proper estimation, because there is a team of 10 sitting. It's not my work, it's about entire project estimation we are talking about. Okay, and that is where I realized ki okay karna padta hai life mein. Okay, and now what my approach was, okay, entire big elephant, full big project cannot be estimated in one go. But later on in my life, I realized that people ask, before giving the entire project, they give a high level idea and say, okay Tausif, give me a ballpark estimate whether this project will happen in 2 months, 3 months. People started talking, and but over a period of time we get maturity, we can talk in that. But at least for junior levels, okay, you need to understand, we need to grow in the art of estimating how much time you need for finishing something. Okay, so when that question was asked to me, what I did simply, because I was not good at estimating the big project, but that's where, when you are into a situation like that, you need to think on the fly. So what I did is, okay, same approach which we discussed some time ago, the task can be broken into pieces. I did the same thing. Okay, you're talking about this project has 10 use cases. For these 10 use cases, each use case needs this much of development. How much time each development is going to take? I started putting everything on that paper. Okay, and then I was taking people's opinion. What do you think? 2 दिन लगेगा, 3 दिन लगेगा, my opinion is like this. But important thing is, take that piece of work, break it down into manageable items, and try to estimate that chunk which you can actually see. So from next time onwards, whichever project you do, be it your personal project or corporate project, you should always think in terms of how much time you will take for finishing some activity. Be it even estimate to the level of, okay, in 2 hours I will finish some activity. Dekho guys, again, it just works like anything else. The more you do, the more you will get better. Okay, the more you do, the more you will get better in that. So if you are not doing proper estimations, it will catch you sometime in your life, in your career. Okay, because then as you grow, people will like, not only yours, estimate only also for your team, and then that adds more pressure. So that's what I gave that example, right? He blasted because he was not able to manage things properly there. So now, right from today onwards, try to be good at estimation. Okay, कैसे करोगे? The approach is simple. Take that entire work, break it down into smaller pieces, estimate that smaller pieces. Okay, this work will take 3 hours. For writing the database design, I will take 2 hours. For writing a Java layer of doing this I may take 3 hours. So total it is 8 hours of work. Guys, again, be it even you are wrong in your planning, that is okay. But do the estimation, because that will give you some prediction and analysis about yourself. And then later you can improve on that. Okay, and the more you estimate, the more you will get better in that. People are not good in estimation because they don't do too much of estimation. But if that becomes your day-to-day thinking job, it will just come very naturally to you. You do it for 3 months, it will start becoming very natural. Okay, and it will be required as you climb up the ladder in more responsibilities in your team. You would have to even estimate on behalf of others, because they are not able to do things for themselves. Okay, and that's a very important thing. Okay, now there is one catch about estimation. Okay, there is some Parkinson bolke, there was a person, and there is a Parkinson law. Okay, work will occupy the time you have allocated. This is second very interesting point. I also realized this once. Okay, Parkinson's law. Can you write that? Work will occupy the time you allocated. Okay. Now, what does that mean? This is somewhere really interesting. It's about our brain hacks. The brain works like that basically. Okay. Let's say there is a task in front of you. If you just give a time, okay, I will finish this task in 2 days, somehow you will realize it will actually take 2 days for finishing it. Okay, I'm not talking about extreme corner cases. On an average talk, if you are doing regular task, you say it will take 2 days to complete, you will realize that it actually will be finished in 2 days only. But if you say the same task, I will finish it in 1 day, you will realize you will be able to finish the same work in 1 day also. That's what is Parkinson's law. The work will take the time which you have actually allocated for it. So if you say some work will take 3 days, somehow the brain relaxes and thinks in a manner ki, okay, we have 3 days, now I'll do this. Planning happens something internally, and then by the end of 3 days, you will end up completing it. The same you say, I want to do it in 1 day, the brain works differently, solutions will come and you will end up doing it 1 day. Okay. For many cases, this is a practical observation. For many situations, I have also practically experienced myself. एक बार तो for the first time when I realized this, okay, without even ये law तो मैंने बहुत बाद में पढ़ा, but in my personal life I realized कि okay, I did 3 days of work in 2 hours. Why? Because we wanted to go for a IPL match. ठीक है, तो ऑफिस में थे, आईपीएल मैच था, इधर ट्रैवल करना था भाई, गाड़ी जाने वाली थी नीचे, ऑफिस के कैब्स वेर पार्क्ड देयर, and like it was 3 p.m. I still know 3 p.m. है, 5 बजे गाड़ी is supposed to leave and I had lot of work to be done. Okay, and like सिर्फ 2 घंटा ही बचा है. So I'm like, how can I finish this entire work in 2 hours? That was my problem statement and I had to do that. Okay, and उसके बाद कुछ तो किया. Something I did, something I delegated, something I said, okay, it's already available there, so we are not going to do it once again. But the brain thought in a manner कि I was able to manage that entire 3 days work in 2 hours, and उसके बाद मैच देखने चले गए. And then that was the first time realization कि my brain thought somewhat different. On a regular basis, it will actually take that much time to think and do it, but it worked differently. Then I realized कि okay, our brain is a very powerful tool जो कुछ भी कर सकता है. And later on in life, when I realized this, कि the work will occupy the time you allocate, so it thinks that smartly to solve your problems. It doesn't mean that you will end up doing everything in 2 hours. It will figure out ways how to manage this work in 2 hours. You will catch up the right people, you will discard some, you will de-scope something, but you will figure out ways to getting your work done. So if you apply this Parkinson's law technique on top of your estimation technique, I would like to suggest you don't give too long estimates for your work. Try to keep it a bit tighter, because the more tighter it is, the more smarter your brain will think, the more problem it will be able to solve. If an average person takes 3 days to solve a work, if you keep your target like 2 days or 1.5 day, your brain will be trained to solve that problem in 1.5 time as well. Many people in IT is not doing this. They again think कि अरे चलो आराम से करते 3 दिन है ना, थोड़ा और बफर लगा के 3.5 day बोल देंगे and all that. So it happens. It's required to have buffers. Everything is there. But when you want to perform to your peak productivity, you need to challenge your brain to think smarter. If you just allow it to run naturally, problems will be there. So you need to force yourself to think smarter, come up with more techniques on the fly, and the techniques will be more if the deadlines are short. If the ETA time estimate is shorter, your brain will work more effectively at that time. And I have realized and experienced that many times in my life. Okay, your brain works differently in different situations. When there is a long time, it relaxes. When there is a short time, it thinks smarter. So you have to somehow prepare situations where you think smarter. Otherwise brain बहुत relaxed रहता है. Okay, now this reminds me of one incident I'll share with you. I was reading a book, and there one CEO of a company, they said we they said they went for a baseball game. Okay, baseball match कहीं पे खेलने गए, and then one of a friend, he was a CEO, he just moved outside and intentionally he left the baseball game ticket there. Okay, he had already ticket, they were already inside the stadium, he kept the ticket there with his friends, and as he said okay, let me go outside, I want to pick something for my car and then I'll come back. So then they were asking, why are you keeping your ticket here? Okay, now listen, this is where it becomes interesting. That CEO said, both all they were like CEO, bunch of CEOs of different companies, business owners. He said okay, you keep the ticket here only, even though I have it, but I want to put my brain to test how witty it thinks to get inside the stadium. Despite all the security check, this, that, I want my brain to think ideas to get inside this. Even though I have a ticket, I want to take a challenging approach for my brain. Okay. The learning from this incident is our brain works differently in different situations. And that's where it comes. If you keep your brain in a relaxing, average situation where there are no challenges, where life is pretty peaceful, you will not be realizing what your actual brain can do. It will become that. It will become dull, it will become average, it will become casual. If you want to think smarter, if you want to think too productive, now in such environments, you have to give yourself targets. Okay. What I would suggest is, even though there is a 5-day estimate given to you, or you have set up whatever, try to finish that work. Try to do it in less than half time. No matter what commitment is given by your seniors or you, whatever, if you have given generically 5 days of time to complete something, try to finish it in like 3 days, around 50%. Always try to do that. Rest of the time you enjoy. Yeah, listen to music, song, chill, relax. That's it. Don't take overwork there. So we are not saying try to finish less so that you can take more, but enhance your productivity. Don't get like your environment to drive you. Finish 5 days work in 3 days, 2 days you relax. That's beauty. Okay, it feels like reward also, and you know that you're productive also. Okay, and so another technique which I will suggest here, okay, you should work hard during the beginning time. Many people do this problem in the sprints. अभी बोलते ठीक है 5 दिन का काम 3 दिन में तो कर लेंगे, but they do it in the end of the sprint. Initial 2 दिन they will enjoy and time pass. Never work like that, guys. Okay, that's one of the technique which proven failed over a period of time. Like you always, okay, this is how I always suggest to my team also. Whenever you take some work, in the beginning time, put as maximum efforts as you can, finish it up. Later on you relax, that is fine. Because if there are surprises going to come, and if you are picking the work itself in the later time, we don't have time to solve the problem. But if there are surprises going to come anytime, you still are there, your sprints will be delivered nicely on time. So the next technique is, during the beginning of any task, put your 100% efforts, or even more than that, okay, during the beginning, and try to do it in a short time during the beginning time. And once it is done, you can relax because you still have a lot of time. You will be cool and composed. So if you make this as your way of operating, life is going to be good. With this same statement, I have driven my teams for like years in a row, and my clients were always satisfied because we never missed a deadline. Okay, this is how I was operating my team when I was directly dealing with them. Right now with the 40 member ka team ho gaya, so I don't directly deal the team. There are juniors like my scrum masters who deal with them, but earlier it was my responsibility, and I always used to focus in the first 40% of this 2 weeks of cycle, entire development should be finished. Even though we target a 60 wala, in 40% I used to finish all the development by working with the team closely, pushing and discussing everything. Once we finish that in 40%, rest of the life will be very peaceful. बाद में time pass करो यार, that's fine. Relax, go for a tea, enjoy, that's okay. So take that learning. Don't relax in the beginning. You can have time later, but first become good in estimation. Next, put your brain to think smart. You have to force your brain to think smart. It will not happen by itself. When deadline comes tight, the brain works smarter. This all things you will realize by your own practical experiences. But if it is not coming in your company, somehow you have to then create such situations. Okay, you have to create such situations. Many people, they go again, people think like, okay, this project is done, I learned everything here, abhi chalo dusre jagah chalte hain, and now quit jobs and moving on, quit jobs and moving on. Okay, the point is, you don't need n number of projects to teach you something. You can learn everything from the same project. Okay, you need to know how to extract the learning from a project. People don't learn that art. Okay, how to learn everything from the same project, because it's all possible to do. Okay, people think, oh, this project has only this much, I learned everything, now let me go beyond another project. But guys, if you keep doing that year by year, 2 years by 2 years, eventually you will learn very slowly. If you learn the art of learning every possible thing from the same project, you will grow more rapidly in quick time. If you really want to become productive in life, try to learn by observing and squeezing up learning opportunities from any situation that you are into. Okay, develop your mind for that. Some people will be a project where there is nothing to learn. As soon as you tell that statement, your mind will not see any learning opportunity. So train, okay, what can I learn from this thing? And you will be finding a lot of things to learn from that. And if you can train your brain to that, na, that's after that you switch, but try to squeeze everything. Juice nikalte na sugar cane se. Try to squeeze every learning possible from a project. Once you feel there is nothing more left, then you go. But don't make an assumption right in the beginning. एक साल में नहीं सीखता है, तो बड़ा project होता है guys. 1 year में nothing happens. When I take a lot of interviews, people come, okay, we have learned everything in that project. मैं बोला भाग साले, कहाँ से सीखता है? I know it. There is a complex project. There is a system running there. It's not possible, and that to juniors, that means yeah, maturity nahi hai. That's obvious. But the thing is, you develop that vision how to see the learning opportunities. Okay, it is theory, it will come with experience, with practice, but write the statement, develop the vision to extract learning opportunities from any situation, and try to live for this statement. Try to see how it can come. The more you think, what can I learn, what can I learn, what can I learn, the more it will get better. Okay, extracting learning opportunities from any situation. Okay, and this is some like really all these things will be applied for your throughout the life. Okay, and I was talking to somebody. Okay, he was a senior manager in my company, and ऐसे discussions में we were just talking about like कुछ ऐसे politics की बात चल रही थी कि भाई politics चलता है, लोग ऐसे कर रहे वैसे कर रहे in the company and all those things. Okay, so then that person said one very nice thing. Okay, that's what, when you interact with the right people, you get the right mindset. He said ki I always try to see कि what can I learn from my opponents or those people who are trying to put me down, or in simple words अगर बोलेंगे my enemies. ठीक है, he said I always ask this question to me कि what can I learn from my enemy. So as soon as you ask that question, the hatred, that pressure, that like force which wants to battle back, that goes away. You become calm and you observe ki, okay, what is he doing and what can I learn from this, and you will be in a more comfortable state to respond back also proper. So he said this, and then that simple statement really like hit me like a shocker. Okay, so what can I learn from my enemies? And like enemy से सीख लिया तो अभी लाइफ में बच्चा ही क्या, बाकी सब जगह तो सीख के लेगा. And that's where if you train your brain and think in the right direction, you can make something out of every situation. Okay, so guys, these are the things, and our entire today's session, I would really want you people to absorb it, because this will become your way of thinking as you go forward. Okay, so watch this session again and repeat it, write these techniques, read it every single day, because it's tough. I know it's not possible. It's a mind evolution, it's a dealing evolution, but you have to keep thinking about it so that whenever you are exposed to some situations, you act in a certain manner. Okay, okay, fine. So this is where we will end our day. Next thing, yes, complete your review. So whatever we did, so today's entire day, you do that tracking, pomodoros and the energy boosters, planning sessions, everything, how much task you have completed, plan something for tomorrow. And then there is weekend coming, so Saturday and Sunday, so we will be taking off for both Saturdays, Sundays. Okay, next we are directly going to meet on Monday. But on Monday we will do two things, guys. So if anybody is interested, yes, Monday we will be meeting up for the morning meditation also. 1 week का meditation करते हैं ठीक है फर्स्ट चलो ठीक है मिलते हैं तो whoever interested, so yes, join back morning 6 a.m. we'll do 6 to 6:30 morning meditation. And yes, evening time पे, so from Monday 4 days. Okay, so it's going to be more 5-day workshop from Monday to Friday चलेगा. So from Monday to 4 days I will be sharing very precise learnings with examples about how I dealt with multiple situations in my corporate industry as I was going through. And I will try to pick the initial 0 to 4 or 0 to 5 years of experience which can benefit to you people. ठीक है, somehow उसको अपन fresher perspective से भी डालेंगे plus the beginning state में. So something, the 4 days will be completely dealt into career and corporate related inputs. And the 5th day pay, we are going to discuss about some aage ek aur we are going to launch some more programs from March. And also I'm trying to put up actually two things. Okay, earlier there was only life transformation. Now I'm trying to break it into two systems. One is a career transformation, another is a life transformation. There will be different focus areas for both the projects. And let's see, so all that clarity we will be discussing it on next Friday, 25th of February. Okay, so chalo, all the best, and let's apply all this thing. Okay, and have a nice day everybody. And yeah, see you guys then Monday morning 6 a.m. and then later as well. Okay, somebody is asking for any discussions and all. I'll give a form in our WhatsApp, so there you can put your queries there. I'll arrange some FAQ sessions later or respond to that. And if there is a one-on-one call required, we will arrange some time for that as well if required. Okay, I'll do whatever in my control to help you or guide you or assist you in the way best I can. Okay, so let's see. And welcome to the industry. Looks like some of you people are be like, okay, kya hone wala interviews and all. So give your best shot. I'll be honest, we are not finding good people in industry. Okay, in my team itself, we had so many open positions. For 6 months, we were hiring. We were not getting the right people. Interview ले रहे, reject, ले रहे, reject, ले रहे, reject. People are not good. ठीक है, or maybe the good people are sticking to the companies and they are not coming for interviews otherwise. So but जो भी आ रहा है तो it's not really good. So if you are technically really good, if you can think, if you are confident, then industry needs you with ease. ठीक है, and current market is very good because it's all work from home. Okay, there are so many people, they are taking so many job offers. Okay, so many job offers, not just one, like five, six job offers. एक को दिखा रहे फिर दूसरा ले रहे, एक को दिखा रहे फिर, तो like people are just climbing up the ladder. एक तो एग्जांपल खतरनाक मिला था, बंदे का 13 लाख 13 लाख का पैकेज है. वो मेरे को कॉल करता है, बोले मेरे को 32 lakhs का पैकेज मिल गया. मैंने बोला क्या किया तूने, तो बोला मेरे को 17 ऑफर लेटर्स मिले एंड आई जस्ट केप्ट शोइंग आई हैव 15, आई हैव 17, आई हैव 19, और करते करते उसको 32 का पैकेज मिल गया. Okay, yeah, he was experienced person, 5-6 years का experience था उसको, but he got, मतलब that is what is happening in the market right now. So if you're really good, talented, confident, okay, can think something, talk smartly in the interviews, बहुत opportunities है. ठीक है, so all the best and चलो let's see it forward. मजा आएगा IT में. ठीक है, it's a nice industry. चलो, thank you.